Welcome to How to Create Professional Paginated Report Designs with Numerro. Paginated reports are designed to look good on the printed page, whether this be on standard letter paper, A4 paper, or in generated PDFs. Today, we'll be taking a look at Numerro's Paginated Report Theme Guide. This guide contains 10 distinct themes, and each theme contains color definitions for report headers, column headers, alternating row colors, conditional cell formatting, and cell border colors. In this tutorial, we will focus on formatting a paginated report with theme 1 from this guide, and we will do so in the actual Power BI Report Builder application. Here we are in Power BI Report Builder. We have a standard data table detailing furniture orders that will act as our paginated report for today's demonstration. Now, the first thing we like to consider with design is font. We recommend always using a sans serif font, as these tend to be more readable on the printed page. All of Numerro's paginated report themes utilize Verdana, and we've formatted this report accordingly. We also recommend using size 24 point for the report's title, 12 point for the column headers, and 10 to 12 point for the data table's body text. Fonts and their sizes are easily editable in the right-hand navigation bar after clicking into an individual cell. For example, we'll go ahead and change the title of this report out to that 24 point that we recommend by simply looking at the font size and moving that to 24. Next, we like to spice things up by adding some border colors. This helps create a clear delineation between rows and increases readability on the printed page. We recommend only implementing horizontal border colors, as vertical ones can be distracting. Here, we're going to use the custom border color defined in Numerro Paginated Report Theme 1. And we'll do so by navigating over to an individual cell's border color and taking a look at the options here. We have a default, a left, right, top, and bottom. As we said, we recommend only implementing those horizontal borders. So you can go ahead and paste our custom hex code into the top and bottom of the cell's borders, creating that horizontal look, and leave the left and right white, which will blend the rest of the cell together in a single row, and again, increase visibility and readability of the data presented on this table on the printed page. Let's take another look at the Numerro theme guide. We've just implemented this cell border color, and next we're going to move on to some alternating row colors. You may also know an alternating row table as a zebra table, but alternating row colors can make a report look more visually appealing and professional in print. In general, we recommend staying on the lighter color scale with the alternating row colors. As you can imagine, every other row in black versus white might not look so great on the printed page and might use a lot of your printer's ink. For this particular theme, we're going to alternate every other row with a standard white and this sort of lighter gray scale. It'll still look very visually appealing and give our report a little more definition in print. Now for the fun part. To add alternating row colors, we will have to use a custom expression in the cell's fill settings. So we're going to click into each cell and modify the fill. Currently, we can see this one has no color, but we're going to come in and we're actually going to set an expression for this. This expression is a logic statement. It's a formula. It contains the information that tells the report this row should be this color and this next row should be this color. This is a very common one that we'll see. If you're nervous about using these formulas, they are available in the Microsoft Power BI Help Center documents. They lay them out very clearly, easy to copy and paste in. But essentially, this is containing the logic of the every other row, being that gray color that we've defined. We can again just paste that custom hex code in, and then we're going to alternate with just a basic white. For any just average plain colors, white, green, red, you can just put those specific words in quotes versus using the hex code. But when you are using the Numerro custom themes, we provide the hex code and you can easily paste those into the quotes within the expression as well. Let's take one more look at our theme guide as we're now going to add conditional cell formatting logic. Now, conditional formatting can be very valuable in numeric fields, as a green number can indicate a positive value or a goal being met, and a red number can indicate a negative value or something that's of concern. We can really highlight those numbers that we aren't expecting to see or wanting to see. We do recommend staying within the green scale for those positive numbers and the red scale for those negative numbers. But the idea of conditional formatting is that we can set that threshold. A number above this is green, a number below this is red. And we're now going to walk you through how to do that in the Power BI Report Builder application. We're going to go ahead and set that conditional formatting on the profit field in our data table, as that's a pretty common use case. Now this is going to look very similar to that alternating row color that we did earlier. We're actually going to have to add another custom expression by clicking into that background color on the profit field and navigating to expression. And no need to worry, by now you're an expression professional. I'm going to go ahead and paste this expression in. This is a pretty common one available in the Microsoft Help Center documents if you do just want to copy and paste. But essentially, this is defining that of the fields in the table, we're looking at the column profit. And if profit has a value greater than 20, we're going to go ahead and use that green custom hex code that's in our theme guide. And if that same field has a value less than 20, we're going to go ahead and use that red custom hex code in our theme guide. And anything else that falls outside of those two ranges will just show white in the cell. And then we just click OK and save that expression. We're now going to make a couple final adjustments that can make this report look very professional on the printed page. Our first recommendation is to add page numbers into the footer. This will ensure that once printed, you'll always be able to see what page you're on in comparison to the total number of pages printed in the report. Page number is available as a built-in field, so you can go ahead and drag page number into your footer. And this will set a default expression. We actually recommend setting a custom expression for this value as well, as we like to have the date, the time at which the report was generated, and the page number all dynamically available on the printed page. I'm going to go ahead and paste a custom expression in here like I have done. Again, this is available in the Microsoft Help Center Power BI documents, but this will basically dynamically showcase when this report was generated, and we'll always have that timestamp on the printed page so that we know when the report became available, how old the data is, regardless of when we're looking at that printed report. That'll also change that footer to this custom expression that you'll be able to change by clicking here and looking at the value. Now, one final step that we also recommend is adding your company's logo into the footer as well. You can upload any images you want into the data panel and then drag and drop that over here. We're just going to want to make sure that the logo aligns with the top of our footer, and then we can also use the position settings on the right to size this accordingly to the rest of our footer. And there we have it. It's perfectly in line with our expression. That concludes the edits that we're going to make to this report, so we're ready to go ahead and run it. I know, the anticipation has been killing you, but here we are. This mode will show us what the actual report looks like with those stylistic changes that we've made. And here we can see we have that readable Verdana text. We have those alternating row colors with the subtle gray, increasing readability and really creating an accent or differentiation between the rows. And we're also able to see that conditional formatting on the profit field that we set. We also recommend taking a look at this in print layout mode, as that's really going to preview the way in which this is going to look on the printed page. And that'll also showcase how our footer logo and our generated date, as well as our page numbers, are presented in the footer. As we can see, this is sized perfectly to fit on the printed page, but if you weren't showing this well, you could go back and make some edits and resize the report. Just always use that print layout mode to make sure everything's rendering the way you would like before you actually go ahead and print the report. Now that's it for us today. We thank you so much for joining in. We're very excited to share this with you. As a reminder, we have our Numerro theme guides available for download. We also have a full toolkit with dashboard templates, professionally formatted visualization, custom themes, and much more. So please continue to subscribe to our newsletter, download these handbooks off of our blog, and reach out to us with any questions. Thanks so much for tuning in.